I brought chocolate-covered strawberries, homemade yesterday night for everyone to share. And today I invite you to learn how to make them yourselves by listening to some very simple instructions. It's a very superable undertaking. What do we need? We need strawberries and chocolate. You need to have a saucepan and ceramic bowl, and you need to have a tray and some wax paper, a wooden spoon or some sort of mixing utensil, and lastly, it's helpful if you have a friend or a helping hand. Our journey starts in the supermarket where we're going to pick up the strawberries and the chocolate. For the strawberries, you want to look for large, really plump, fat, bright red, heart-shaped strawberries. Stay away from the small, oddly shaped or misshapen ones. The larger the better. Just try to stay away from the dim-colored, dry-looking ones. Usually those are older and about to expire. Lift the box up and look underneath it to make sure there are no strawberries that are squashed at the bottom and leaking sweet, sticky red strawberry juice. Turn it around and inspect the strawberries inside the box to make sure none of them are growing fuzzy white mold. And lastly, it's not always available in every store, but try to get strawberries that have a stem on them. If you can't get the stem, it's okay if you just go with the ones that have a little hat of green leaves, but ideally if you could have a stem, it makes it much easier later on during the dipping process. Now moving on to the chocolate aisle, assuming there is an aisle of chocolate, you want to pick up any sort of chocolate, a hunk of chocolate or a bar of chocolate to your fancy. White chocolate, dark chocolate, extra dark chocolate, bittersweet, milk chocolate, or if you want to be adventurous, you can try something like green tea chocolate. But I would advise you against something that has toppings in it, like nuts or fruits or rice or any other sort of thing, because that typically makes it a little more complicated and they're not ideal for covering the strawberries. After you've got your purchases, take them home, open the box, and spray rinse them in fresh cold water. You can usually actually just leave the strawberries in the box because they almost always will have holes in them, and the water will just trickle out by itself. Make sure to rinse them clean and then shake the box gently to get the excess water out, and then just leave it there to air dry for about 10 to 20 minutes. During that time, we're going to prepare the rest of the kitchen. Moving on to the chocolate, break it into smaller pieces. We're going to be melting it in sections and bit by bit, not all at once. Fill the saucepan with some water, maybe 3 or 4 cups of water, and put it over the fire and slowly bring it to a boil. You need to have a ceramic bowl that you want to put on top of the saucepan because we're going to actually temper or melt the chocolate inside of the ceramic bowl, not in the saucepan, because if you put it directly into the saucepan, the heat will be too strong no matter how low you put that fire. So you need to actually boil the water in the saucepan and use that hot vapor to heat up the bottom of the ceramic bowl. And that's going to gradually melt the chocolate without burning it. So put that on there, and lastly, get your tray, cover it in wax paper, and put it nearby, ideally right next to the saucepan. It's going to be used as a landing pad for the strawberries after they've taken their dip. By this time, hopefully, you're going to start hearing a soft murmuring gurgle from the water, which is a sign that it's bubbling and boiling. So we are ready to begin. Take a couple pieces of the chocolate and put it into the ceramic bowl. At first, when you first start, it's going to melt kind of slowly, but you just have to be a little patient and take your wooden spoon and constantly stir it. Eventually, it will melt, and you're going to need to add some more of the chocolate pieces inside. And you'll notice that once there is a pool of hot chocolate in there, it's going to melt faster and faster. Continue to stir it with your wooden spoon or whatever your stirring utensil is, and observe the spiral weight that's left behind. And once you have a nice pool of chocolate, this is where having a helping hand or buddy comes in handy. You want to have one person take the chocolate, take the strawberry either by its stem or by the little hat of leaves, and dip it into the pool of chocolate. Make sure it's draped thoroughly in a rich, smooth, thick coat of chocolate, and lift it up. Let the extra chocolate ooze off for a few seconds, a couple seconds, and then place it onto the landing pad. All the while, the other person should continue stirring because you want to make sure that the chocolate continues to move. If you leave it in one place for too long and don't distribute the heat, it's easily going to get overheated or burned and start getting crumbly. Continue to do that until you've got all the strawberries covered thoroughly in chocolate. Put them all onto the tray, and carefully lift that tray and put it into the refrigerator. And here comes the most difficult part. You have to leave it in there and not touch it for 2 to 3 hours at minimum. And after that time, that waiting period has passed and the time of reckoning has come, you can open that refrigerator door and you have to take a chomp out of your delectable delight, the concoction that you've just created, and enjoy the symphony or the duet of harmonious flavors. Valentine's Day is coming up in 7 months, and there's nothing better than giving your significant other a gift of handmade chocolate-covered strawberries. It's, as I mentioned earlier, it's really quite a Super Bowl undertaking. It's not difficult at all, and now is a great time for you to practice. Thank you, and please help yourself.
Good job, Brian.